For another secret lunch, hoping that nobody will see us together in a small, cheap hotel room? It's the same every week. She turned to Sam, her eyes shining angrily. And then suddenly they softened. "Oh, Sam," she said quietly. She rested her face in his hand as she looked up into his eyes. "Why can't we get married now? I want to be with you all the time. I want to walk along the street with you so that everyone can see us together." This time, Sam walked away. He stood alone by the window and looked down at the hot, dry city. "We can get married when I paid off all my father's debts," he said. "I only need to pay another $11,000. And how long will that take?" "2 years, maybe 3. "Oh, Sam," Marion cried, throwing the handbag onto the bed and running to hold him. "I can't wait 3 years. I don't care about the money." She kissed his face, but she was almost crying. "I want to be with you. I'll leave my job. I'll come and work in your shop. Marion, please. You must understand. I don't want us to be poor when we get married. I want us to be happy. In 3 years' time, you'll be my wife, Mrs. Sam Loomis. I promise." Marion sighed and turned round in his arms to rest her head against his shoulder. "In 3 years, I'll be 29, she thought unhappily. Then she suddenly remembered that she was late for work. She left Sam by the window, picked up her bag and walked towards the door. "I have to go, Sam," she said again. "I'm late. Mr. Lowry will kill me." Chapter 2. Marion's Plan. "I'm sorry I'm late," Marion called as she hurried into the office. "Don't worry," the other secretary said. "Mr. Lowry's having lunch with a customer." Marion gave the other woman a tired smile and sat at her desk. "Did anyone phone while I was out?" she asked. "Just your sister. She says that she's going away for the weekend." Just then Mr. Lowry walked in. He was talking to a loud-voiced man in a cowboy hat. Marion immediately looked down and tried to look busy. She knew Tommy Cassidy and she didn't like him. He was an unpleasant, greedy old man who was always talking about money. Cassidy sat down on Marion's desk and showed her a photograph of his daughter. "She's 18 years old," he said. "And she's never been unhappy." Marion looked at the photograph and then at Cassidy. She didn't like the way that he was looking at her, with his clear, cold eyes and his wet, smiling lips. "She's getting married next month," he said, "and I'm buying her a house." He took a thick packet of money out of his pocket and waved it in front of Marion's face. $40,000, he smiled proudly. "This will make her happy, won't it?" Marion looked at the money and smiled politely. "Are you happy, Marion?" Cassidy asked, still holding the money in front of her. Marion wanted to stand up and shout at him, "How can I be happy? I can't get married for 3 years while Sam works to pay off his father's debts." "But you're rich. You can make $11,000 in 3 weeks. It isn't right." But she